Reggae just extra.
Before the fame, reggae stars were welders, vendors, farmers, even soldiers. Here are 65 reggae icons and the surprising jobs they worked before stardom, exclusively on Reggae Gist Extra with Ras Dennis. Bob Marley worked as a welder and lab assistant before leaving it behind to chase music. Gregory Isaacs started as a street singer, building confidence and style in talent shows. Dennis Brown, known as the Boy Wonder, he sang in Kingston's talent contests from childhood. Carlton Barrett worked as a welder apprentice before becoming Marley's drummer. Aston Family Man Barrett learned mechanics before his bass lines powered reggae. Toots Hibbert worked as a barber apprentice before forming the Maytals. Don Carlos built his livelihood as a carpenter. Junior Reid was a street singer before recording Speak the Truth at the age of 13 for the late Hugh Mundell. Max Romeo, before shifting to the mic, he worked as a farmhand in rural Jamaica. Next is Maxie Priest, a carpenter by trade. He balanced work with his passion for singing. 90 The Observer, known as Winston Holness before fame, he began as an engineer in Kingston studios. Big Youth trained as a mechanic, fixing cars to survive, before he transformed the role of the DJ with his conscious rhymes. Iroy worked as an accountant's clerk. His office skills sharpened his wit and precision, which later translated into the clever wordplay that defined him as one of the greatest DJs. Peter Tosh sang on the streets and in church, where his booming baritone was first recognized. Jimmy Cliff sold goods as a street vendor, entering contests until producers noticed him. Jacob Miller displayed raw talent as a schoolboy singer before joining Inner Circle. Yellow Man faced harsh stigma growing up with albinism. He proved himself as a fearless street chanter, eventually rising to become dancehall's first superstar. Burning Spear worked as a farmer in St. Ann, the same parish that birthed Bob Marley and Marcus Garvey. Marcia Griffiths started performing as a child and grew into the queen of reggae. Horsemouth Leroy Wallace, a gifted drummer from his youth, trained in Jamaica's Pacamania religious tradition. Joseph Hill, Culture, learned music early as a child drummer. His spiritual upbringing prepared him to lead Culture, a group that gave roots reggae some of its most enduring anthems. Bunny Wailer grew up splitting his time between farming and fishing in St. Ann. Barris Hammond worked as a clerk while performing at local talent shows. Prince Farai once worked as a security guard. His thunderous, commanding voice earned him the name Voice of Thunder, perfectly suiting his cultural chanting style. Seco Patterson worked in Jamaica's bauxite mines before joining Bob Marley and the Wailers as a percussionist. Coco T earned a living as a fisherman in Clarendon before his sweet vocals and Rastafari message took him to international acclaim. Junior Biles served as a firefighter in Kingston. Muda Baruka, a technician at the Jamaican Telephone Company, he eventually left to pursue poetry and music. Luciano sold oranges in the marketplace to survive. Sanchez balanced construction jobs with church singing before becoming one of reggae's most loved balladeers. Lieutenant Stitchie was a biology teacher in Spanish Town before he switched chalk for the mic. Ika Mouse began as a street performer, chanting unique melodies that gave birth to his one-of-a-kind sing-jay style. Leroy Sibbles, the Heptons, worked as a session bassist and arranger at Studio One before fame. Frankie Paul grew up at a school for the blind, where he discovered the depth of his voice. Sugar Minot started at Studio One's pressing plant, learning the industry from the ground up. Janine, a yoga instructor and poet before recording music. Shaggy served in the U.S. Marines during the Gulf War. Delroy Wilson began as an errand boy at Studio One, running small tasks for producers. Scientist apprenticed under King Tubby, learning electronics while still a teenager. Mikey Dread worked as a radio DJ/engineer at JBC, bringing reggae to the airwaves and later producing experimental sounds that fused radio with roots. Queen Ifrica competed in local contests before Rastafari gave her lyrics, and then grew into a leading voice for conscious reggae. King Tubby, a humble radio repairman who discovered how to manipulate sound. He created dub, forever changing global music. Rita Marley started in dance troupes with dreams of nursing. Fate led her to music and into the Welders, where she stood alongside Bob Marley. Judy Mowatt began as a dancer and singer before joining the I3s. Freddie McGregor started as a Studio One helper, literally sweeping floors before recording as a child prodigy. Lone Ranger, a DJ for Virgo Sound System, he learned the art of chatting live before bringing it to records. Coffee, student and church choir member before posting her first songs online. Bushman worked as a selector on a local sound system. Uroy, an electrician by training. He electrified reggae by pioneering the modern DJ style, chatting over rhythms. Josie Wales gained respect as a DJ on the Roots Unlimited sound system before taking his gunman-style lyrics to the studio. Charlie Chaplin began his career just like Josie Wales. Sizzla Kalonji worked as a motorcycle mechanic, staying grounded among the people before rising as one of reggae's most prolific voices. Mavado trained as a barber in Kingston before his voice cut through dancehall and brought him global fame. Admiral Tibet worked as a carpenter's apprentice, crafting wood by day while sharpening his cultural lyrics by night. Everton Blender painted houses for a living. His dedication and faith eventually rewarded him with reggae hits in the 1990s. Alton Ellis began singing as a schoolboy before pioneering ska and rocksteady with smooth, soulful vocals. Ken Booth sang on Kingston street corners as a teenager. His powerful voice soon won him the nickname Mr. Rocksteady. John Holt performed in talent shows as a youth before Paragon's fame. Jah Cure was discovered as a street singer. His raw, heartfelt voice quickly made him one of reggae's most distinctive vocalists. Buju Banton hustled as a peanut seller while chanting lyrics on sound systems. Bounty Killer chanted on Kingston's tough streets before becoming the poor people's governor with fierce lyrics of survival. Eterna worked as a waitress and student nurse in the U.S. before reclaiming her Jamaican roots and becoming a reggae star. Alborosie performed on Italian streets with reggae national tickets before moving to Jamaica. He later earned respect as a true reggae artist abroad. Barrington Livy helped out as a farm worker, singing while in the fields. His golden voice made him reggae's teenage sensation. Augustus Pablo sold records and ran a sound system before introducing the melodica, creating one of reggae's most haunting sounds. Capleton rose as a fearless street performer before his fiery Rastafari messages earned him the title The Prophet. That's it for this episode, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, give a thumbs up, and leave a positive comment in the section below, and I'll see you again very soon for another interesting video.